So I'm Roger with Rogers Outdoors. Today, as far as a new activity for you to try, I'm going to try to see if I can get you involved in archery. Uh, this is something that it's a little more complex than most people would think. That you think of the old-fashioned longbow looking type bow and say, well, that's just put an arrow, knock an arrow in it, and pull back and let her fly. Well, it's archery has evolved a lot more since then. So I'm going to kind of explain to you what your choices are to just kind of get involved in this sport. If you want to take it further than a sport and actually compete or go hunting or something like that, you can get to that once you pick up a bow and arrow and say, okay, I like this. I want to do more with this, and let's see what I can do. So again, that you can get it. You can buy just kind of like a little kid set of your traditional longbow, with maybe 4 or 5 arrows and a little target to shoot at, with for under $50. Okay. Or you can be spending. You can get into these modern bows that or you can get into like a crossbow that looks like a gun and has a you pull back the arrow on it and notch it and aim it like you would a gun. And pull a trigger just like you would a gun, and it shoots. Those you need to, some areas don't allow those. So I'll, talk about them in passing, but basically the most likelihood, if you decide to take up archery, is going to be that you're going to pick up a compound bow. And the first couple of things that you need to know about a compound bow is, first of all, they look kind of like this, and what the feature of them that makes it neat is that when you pull back far enough, it locks in, and instead of you spending all your energy to hold the arrow in place while you're about to shoot, the bow is doing that work for you. So you reasonably effortlessly you can hold this string back, but it takes a certain amount of strength to pull it back to that position, and that strength will be as low as maybe 25 or 30 pounds on up to 80 pounds or more. And the more pull that it takes to get you into that locked position or notched position, the faster that arrow is going to fly once you let go of it. So if you're into like hunting big game animals up on a mountain somewhere and need it to fly, your arrow to fly a long ways, you might need one of those strong things. But most of the time you're going to be able to get by with 20, 30-yard shots, and whether you're target practicing or whatever. And you can pick up these compound bows. A new one you can probably get, for as little as like $125. But again, you need to know what's the pull strength, and it'll have sights on it. If you look, you can see these sights help you look at where the arrow, am I shooting high, am I shooting low? You kind of use these little sights to gauge where the arrow's at. You've got a little string here that if you instead of using your hand to pull back the string, you can use a puller and pull back with this thing and release it. You can buy like an arm guard to, if the string clips you on the way back, for $10-15 you can get an arm guard that will protect you of that. But the cool thing about, as you are out there practicing, you can kind of look and you can see my little target I've set up. This is a typical thing. They're either made out of styrofoam or they're made out of straw, big straw bale kind of thing. And it gives you a chance to practice and sight in your arrow. We're going to use practice arrows that don't have a hunting point on them, just your typical practice arrow sort of thing. We're gonna notch it. We're just going to lock it into the bow. Draw back until the bow kind of takes over, and then let go. Okay, and you can kind of see that, a lot of power, a lot of strength to it. The key when you're doing your practicing is have some area, like I've got a little hill behind where my target is set, so that if I miss the target, it's going to stick in the dirt and not go flying off into somebody's automobile or a kid walking down the sidewalk or something like that. So make sure what your backdrop is, and it also, I'm able to find the arrows in the setup that I'm using. So, and the arrows don't get damaged because I'm shooting into dirt instead of concrete and the like. So, it's a fun sport. If you take it up in a hunting thing, it really not only gets you outdoors, but it teaches you must get a lot closer to your game animals with a bow and arrow than you would with a rifle, and it teaches you to be pretty good on your approach to animals. Being quiet and stealthful and really kind of getting close to nature. It's a lot of fun. I hope you give it a chance. You might also look, I'm going to do a quick little film on something that's reasonably similar, and that's using a slingshot to give you some outdoor exercise as well. So anyway, if you see me out there with a bow and arrow in hand, don't forget to wave. You never need to know who you can trust with a bow and arrow in their hand. So, okay, so one thing I forgot to mention was there are places you can look for that will give you some help on how to pick out a bow. Your sporting goods stores will give you a chance to try them out, see if a 30-pound pole is better for you or 50-pound, show you the different models that you've got. Or you can go to an archery range and actually try out a bow. Some of them have bows that they'll lend you and say, hey, test this out, this kind of bow, and to where you find what you like. And then eventually you might go to Craigslist or some online source. To Amazon carries a lot of hunting equipment or bow and arrow archery equipment, so you might look there. So one last thing is, all of the things in my video are posted with companion articles that kind of explain in detail what you need to know about the sport. So look for the companion articles that talk about this archery thing, and that will give you the little reminders that of the verbal instructions that I'm giving you on this video.